Okay, we have another method for factoring trinomials. I'm not a big fan of this process. Personally, I would just like to factor this thing directly, but some people don't like the guessing game. They like to be able to multiply to this 3 and add up to this 7, which typically doesn't work when there's a leading coefficient out there. So what we really have here is a polynomial of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and this method is called the AC method because we're going to multiply the a and the c together. 6 times negative 3 makes negative 18. Now we multiply those together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find two numbers that multiply to make this negative 18, and as we did a while back, add or subtract to make that positive 7. So we look at that 18 and we say, okay, 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, and that's it. And then we say, ding, 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 2 and 9. If we have a negative 2 and a positive 9, and I put the signs with them, they will multiply to make that negative 18 and add up to make that positive 7. So finding those numbers, we take our problem and we rewrite it. 6x squared, and instead of that 7x, we write minus 2x and plus 9x, and then minus 3. And that gives us 4 terms there, and we then use the grouping method. We split it down the middle. Out of the first two terms, we can factor out a 2x, leaving us with 3x minus 1. And then out of the 9x and the 3, we can factor out a 3, again leaving us with 3x minus 1. And seeing the 3x minus 1 in both parentheses, we can factor it out front, 3x minus 1. And dividing it out of the first term, we get a 2x. And dividing it out of the second half of the problem, we're left with a positive 3. It's a little bit more work, but some people like this multiplying and adding process without having to play all the games of, guessing. I wouldn't have done that on this problem because look at that 3. 3 is a prime number. It told you had to have 1 and 3 in our two parentheses, and half the problem was already solved at that point. But the purpose of this video is to show you the AC method, so I'm going to stop dogging on it for a little bit and move on to problem number 2. We look at the 9 and the 4. We take this 2, we multiply them together, and we get positive 36. Now 36 has a lot of factors. We're trying to find numbers that multiply to 36 and add up to 12. 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 times, I just lost it, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, 5 doesn't go in, 6 times 6. Hey, 6 and 6 multiply to 36, and 6 times 6 make negative 12. And if they're both negatives, they will still multiply to a positive 36, and they'll both still add to a negative 12. So those are our magic numbers, and we're going to rewrite our problem now as 9x squared. Take that minus 12x and split it into minus 6x and minus 6x as we did before. Bring down our plus 4. And now we're going to, I'm going to circle that because that's what we used, split this problem down the middle and use the grouping method. Out of the 9 and the 6, we can divide out a 3 as well as an x, leaving us with 3x minus 2. In the second half of the problem, these are both even, so I can divide out a 2, but I'm also going to divide out the negative. So divide out a negative 2, and we're left with 3x minus 2 again. And then seeing the 3x minus 2 showing up in both parentheses, I'm going to divide that out front, 3x minus 2. Dividing it out, we have a 3x left in the first half of the problem, and hey, a minus 2 over there on the right. I think that's a little too excited with that. Hey! And then we have 3x minus 2 quantity squared. When the same parentheses shows up twice, we write it twice. Okay, let's do a couple more to get the hang of this.